Today's guest is Kieu Chinh. Kieu is a true story of courage and triumph. Born in Hanoi, Kieu rose to superstardom in the early 60s in Vietnam, starring in movies such as The Yank in Vietnam opposite Marshall Tucker and Operation CIA starring Burt Reynolds. Kieu appeared all over Asia as one of the leading actresses, even having her own popular TV talk show. With the fall of Saigon in 1975, Kieu was forced to leave Vietnam. With the assistance of Tippi Hedren, she immigrated to the United States, shortly after acquiring representation with the William Morris Agency and landing a substantial role on MASH. She appeared all over the TV in the 1970s and 80s. In the 1990s, Kieu starred in the Joy Luck Club, playing the role of Suyuan, the mother of Ming-Na Wa's character. She gave a heart-wrenching performance worthy of an Oscar. It is with my utmost gratitude and honor to present Kieu Chinh. Yes, Kieu, can you give the correct pronunciation of your name? I just want to make sure I got that.
Kieu Chinh.
Kieu Chinh.
Kieu Chinh.
Kieu Chinh. Kieu, you were born in Hanoi, right? Can you describe your childhood and family?
Yeah, I was born in Hanoi, north of Vietnam. At the time that, the country is not in war. It was so beautiful. I was born in the happy family, a well-to-do family, until the Second World War, when the Japanese invasion and Allied air forces bombed the Japanese. It hit the hospital where my mom was there giving birth for my for the newborn baby, which is my younger brother. So both my mother and my brother was killed. It was so I lost my mom when I think I was 5 or 6. Since then, the family changed, the country situation changed, and I grown up with the love of my beloved father. He was young, only 32 years old, young man, but he stayed to raise his children. He's more than a father. He's my father, he's my mom, he's my brother, and he's my dear friend. I only know him. I'm grown up. And then it was sad that I lost him in 1954, when Geneva Agreement divided my country into 2 parts, North communist, South non-communist. So I became a refugee within my own country. I evacuated South by myself, not because I want to, but this is a long story, Greg. Actually, at that time, my father and my only brother and myself planned to go south. Everybody is ready to go south, but the night before we're supposed to leave, my young brother, at that time he was only 18, he decided to go for the revolution with the young generation. Student go for revolution. So he left home. Suddenly he left home in the middle of the night without my father knowing that. So the next day, my father and myself, we had to go to the airport together. We supposed to go together to South. But in the very last minutes, he pushed me on the plane. He said, "You go. I have to stay looking for your father, for your brother, and we will join you in the South later. And then, it was very panic. A lot of people pushing each other. So people pushed me deeper and deeper inside the plane, and then the door closed. So it was the last time that I had seen my father. And the last word I heard from him is, "Be brave, I will join you later." But he didn't make it. And that was the last time I see him. It was 1954. Millions of people left north to go south. And I became a refugee within my own country when I was 15, almost 16. Yeah.
So that was sometime after that 1954 Operation Passage to Freedom that they brought you to the South, that forced you to go to the South.
Yes.
At that time, what led to acting? What made you, what spurred your interest into acting after that such life-changing event?
I didn't know. I never dreamed of, and I didn't even know that I would become an actor. Because of movie industry in Vietnam at that time is still very young. But I love movie because I grown up with my father, and he's a widow as a young man. Mm-hmm. He took me to see movies all the time, every week, every weekend. Every weekend we see at least 2 movies a week. At least 2 movies a week. Mm-hmm. And most of the movie at that time was speaking French.
French.
Yeah, and my father is fluently in French. So seeing the movie, he would explain to me what it's about why this movie is good and why the other one is so and so. I grown up with his love, and I studied music. My dream was in music. I didn't know that I would become an actor. Mm-hmm. And then talking about later when I was in the South, Saigon, south of Vietnam. And it happened that I got married so early. I married to an officer, the paratrooper officer, the son of the family who took me in. And I became the daughter-in-law of the family that who took me. And then my husband then, he is Vietnamese, but he went to America for paratrooper training. And then my husband's family is Buddhist, but I grown up in Catholic schools. Mm-hmm. So I am between Catholic and Buddhist. So every Sunday, I still go to church. One Sunday, like the other, I went to church. And when I walk out from the church, it was on the main street of South Vietnam, Saigon. It's called Rue Catina, the main street. And suddenly, there is one American from the other side of the street who ran over, tapped on my shoulder, and asked me, "Do you speak English?" I turned around, I look at him, I did not answer. So he might understand that, at the time that many soldiers, would look at the girl on the street or something.
Yes.
So he turned around facing me. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry. We are a group of filmmakers sitting at the other side, which is by the Continental Hotel, the famous hotel in Saigon. We were sitting there. We are here looking for a young Vietnamese lady who could play the leading in our movie. Do you speak English?" I said, yes, a little bit. And he said, how about French? You speak French? I said, also a little bit. He said, great. And really the group of people sitting over there with our director, Mr. Joseph Maskowitz. Joseph Maskowitz. We are going to do a movie and we're looking for a Vietnamese leading role to play the leading role. Do you mind, can I take you over across the street to join the group to talk to our director?
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. So he accompanied me to meet Mr. Joseph Maskowitz.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I didn't know who he was and, nothing about movie. I didn't expect that. And then they told me that they are doing the movie called The Quiet American.
Uh-huh.
They are about to film The Quiet American. They have already cast the leading man. One is Mr. Michael Radgrave from London,
Mm-hmm.
and the Hollywood actor is Audie Murphy,
Mm-hmm.
and there would be a Vietnamese leading lady. So they asked me that they would like to have a film test on me.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me the script for screen test.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came back, I read the script, but before going back to meet the film group, I have to ask my mother-in-law permission to do so.
Sure.
And at that time, my in-law family was a kind of surprise
Mm-hmm.
that the daughter-in-law asking to become an actress.
Mm-hmm.
And because the movie industry at that time was too young, and the culture, the very my ex-husband family was very old culture family.
Mm-hmm.
My mother-in-law would ask me that what kind of story, what kind of character are you going to play? I told her a little bit about the story. At first, I lived with the Englishman, and later I fell in love with the American, played by Audie Murphy. My mom said, "Oh no, the good girl would play that kind of character." Mm-hmm. So I had to go back and say that I'm very sorry. Thank you so much for interested in me for the film test. But I'm sorry, my family wouldn't allow me to do it. And everybody was surprised. What? In Hollywood, if a young girl being asked for a film test by director Joseph Maskowitz, and you said no to that,
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, but I appreciate that, but I'm very sorry. This is the culture and the family. I'm sorry, I can't do it. And then, anyway, make the long story short, later, in that meeting, there was a Vietnamese film producer. He was there in the meeting. I didn't know him, but he was there. So later in the movie, the film crew asked me to do a cameo part, a very tiny part, in a scene that Mr. Michael Radgrave walked on street looking for his lover, Phương, played by an Italian actress. Her name is Georgia Moore. Yes, Georgia Moore, who looked like me and I look like her.
Uh-huh.
So Michael Radgrave ran after me, tapped on my shoulder. I turned around and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that you are somebody that I'm looking for." So that was the only scene that I have in the movie.
I see.
So the first word of action from a director that I heard is from director Joseph Maskowitz.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then a few months later, the Vietnamese film producer, he stopped his production. They invite me for their leading lady. I said, I told them that while I am not sure that my family would allow me to become an actress,
Mhm.
he said, okay, let me come to meet your family and I will ask their permission.
Mhm.
So he came. He came to meet my parents-in-law and asked them to, for me to go for their movie. My family was surprised why people keep asking me, in the movie. And then my mother-in-law asked the producer. By the way, entre parenthèses, my producer is Mr. Bùi Diễm. Later, he became the last South ambassador, the last ambassador of South Vietnam. He's now still living
Mhm.
in Washington, D.C.,
Oh,
and
wow.
he is the last ambassador of South Vietnam. Anyway, go back to my story.
Yes.
So he came and he talked to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law would say that, well, I'm curious, but what kind of character are you asking my daughter-in-law to portray? He said, well, she would be a Buddhist nun, ma'am. And she would, the Buddhist, she is a beautiful nun staying in the famous temple called Thiên Mục Temple at
Mhm.
Hue, center of South Vietnam. And my mother-in-law said, oh, that is wonderful. I would love that my daughter-in-law is a Buddhist nun. I would be proud to tell all my friend at temple
Mhm.
that is my daughter-in-law.
Mhm.
So it was 1957.
It's
I became an actress officially,
Mhm.
playing a Buddhist nun. And after that, my career was blooming,
Mhm.
one after another movie.
Mhm.
But I didn't play any part that would against the culture of my family.
I see. I see.
Yeah. And,
Is that shortly after that you were in 2 American productions, right?
yes, Greg, I've been working continuously,
Continuously. Okay.
not only local movie, but I have done quite a few movie, not two, but many.
Many. You did
Yeah,
a movie with Burt Reynolds, was it? Or before Burt Reynolds, you did a movie with
Burt Reynolds. I worked in the movie called A Yank in
a
Vietnam
Yank in Vietnam.
with Marshall Thompson. And then Burt Reynolds in the movie called CIA Operations.
CIA operations.
And then I worked with in many other movie. I've been working all over in Southeast Asia, from Philippines to Thailand to Taipei, and even in India. And I worked quite a few movie in Philippines.
What was the movie in India you worked with? You worked with their most popular actor at the time?
The Evil Within. My
Evil.
leading was the famous actor in India. His name is Dev Adnan, but his nickname is Dev King Adnan. He was so famous, they call him like a king. Like a king, yeah. And I portray, my character is the Queen of India.
The Queen of India.
So that was the most fun film that I have ever made.
Oh.
So I was treated like like a queen, and travel all around India, from Udaipur to Jaipur to Nepal to all over in India. And
How long was the production? Was it? Do you remember? Was it a long production for that movie? Was it
it was 2 months shooting.
2 months?
2 months shooting. Travel a lot around India.
Okay.
2 months. A lot of difficult scene, like I have to ride horses,
Horses.
running from the mountain down.
Oh,
And
wow.
I remember the shooting was from winter to springtime.
Mhm.
So Oh no, I'm sorry, from fall to winter.
Wow.
Yeah, so the continuity of the movie, that I supposed to riding horses in the fall, which I wear only a very tiny white shirt, you
Oh
know,
wow. Okay.
silk white shirt with my black trouser and boot, and but in the winter,
In the
but
winter.
riding on horses and running in winter with a silk shirt.
Oh my God, it's so cold. Yes.
No, it was so cold. So I was riding horses, and Devanan riding with me. Uh, we run away from my palace, run away. And we run from the hill down, and at down at the bottom where the camera is on us running down.
Okay.
And when the director said the cut, I couldn't hold my horse cut because my hand was freezing. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it. And Dave had to run after me to make sure that I'm calm. And one of the horses trainer, he
Yes.
came running. He jumped on my horse and holding the horses for me because I was so cold.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
That's great.
yeah, the movie, because of from season to season, weather changing, was so dangerous. That scene was so dangerous. But I'm happy that only one take. Because
Only one thing. No. And that time, so you were extremely popular in Asia. You were working in the Philippines and India and Vietnam, and you were also you had a talk show, right? You had a talk show at that time, or
yes, I have a. Actually, at that time, the war was escalated.
okay,
Any Hollywood celebrity went to Vietnam to visit the soldiers or entertain some entertainment like Bob Hope show and others. Yeah. So I have my Kieu Chinh talk time. Most of Hollywood and Hollywood celebrity went to Saigon. They would guest on my show.
I see.
Like Claire Ford, who was on my show. Danny Kaye was on my show.
Yes.
Diane McBain, T.P. Hedren.
T.P. Hedren.
It was 1965. Yes. Yeah.
William Holden also.
No, William Holden was not on my show. He never went to Vietnam. He didn't make it. He planned, but I met him many times, many years in Southeast Asia Film Festival.
Okay.
I met him in Japan. Then I met him again in Hong Kong. And I met him again in Taipei. We became good friends.
I know William Holden was a phenomenal actor and also a great person. From what I understand, he holds a special place in your heart because he may have saved your life, or he saved your life. Could you please share that with us?
I don't remember, 66 or 68 in Taipei, Taiwan, film festival. 19 countries attending the festival, 1 week long. And the last day, the organization have a tour treat all the attending 2 tour. One went to Taichung to visit the museum with antique and jade. And the second tour, the second group would go to Queen Moi. Queen Moi is near the China, the Red China. And in Queen Moi, the whole village is underground.
Oh wow!
Because of the other side from China, they mortal on
Waters.
Yeah, so everybody have to stay underground, and I go to that festival with my film director and his wife, Mr. Thai Thuk Nha and his wife. Mrs. Nha would like to visit the Taichung because she loved cake. So we signed up to go to Taichung to see the museum. But the night before, William Holden called me. He asked me, Ching, where are you going tomorrow? I told him that Mr. and Mrs. Nha and me, we signed up to go to Taichung to visit the museum. He said, well, Taichung, you can go anytime. But Quemoy is something not easy to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more interesting. You should, especially you come from Vietnam, the war country, you should go to Quemoy.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yes, I would love to. But my director already signed for the other trip. How can I change? He said, don't worry, I will make it happen. So I said, can you have 3 seats for us?
Mm-hmm.
And we all go to Quemoy. He said, yeah, okay, my car will pick you up tomorrow. So tomorrow, Mr. Holden, Mr. and Mrs. Nha and myself, we went to Quemoy. And thanks to Mr. Holden, that it was so interesting. We see the whole town, the whole city, underground.
Wow.
We have hospital, we have soldiers, army, we have schools, we have market and people, everything living underground,
Mm-hmm.
the whole city. Until the end of the day, that was the closing ceremony, the last day. The closing ceremony would be at President Chiang Kai-shek
Okay, sir.
Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Huge, big party. And after the opening speech, there was a dancing, opening dance.
Mm-hmm.
President Chiang Kai-shek say that Madame Chiang Kai-shek and me, we are old, we don't do the dance, the waltz.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to ask the honor of our honored guest from Hollywood, Mr. William Holden.
Mm-hmm.
Would you please invite one of the beauty of Southeast Asia here to open the dance? So Mr. Holden, how should I say that? Madame and Mrs. And President Chiang Kai-shek at the head table, and all the guest table set like an U shape from A to Z.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Holden from America is on A, and when Mr. Chiang Kai-shek, President Chiang Kai-shek, asking him to invite one of the actresses in Southeast Asia, so
Mm-hmm.
he go direct from A to V, which is across the piste, the dancing floor,
Yes.
and invite me. So we were opening dance, the waltz, in the middle of the waltzing, in the middle of we are waltzing, suddenly the music stopped. We were standing right in the center of the piste, surprise.
Mm-hmm.
The music stopped. President Chiang Kai-shek stand up. He said that, I am sorry. I have to stop the music. I have a very important announcement to make. Everybody was look up. He said that, I'm very sorry to let you all know that the plane returning from Taichung was crashed. Killed 69 people, all the people from movie industry around Southeast Asia. 69 of them all killed. Everybody was shocked.
Sure. Yeah.
People crying. Some of them belong husband and wife or actors and together or film director. And among that 69 people, there was a very famous film producer in Southeast Asia at that time was Mr. Lo Quan Thơ. Lo Quan Thơ is from Cathay Pacific Film Company.
Mm-hmm.
At that time in Hong Kong, it was Cathay Pacific, Cathay Film, and Run Shaw, the Shaw's brothers.
Yes.
Film.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Thơ was killed among all 69 victims.
Oh.
That was a very sad. And the next day, the media list the name of all the people was killed. Mr. and Mrs. Tai Tuk Nya, my producer, my director, and my name was on the list that we were killed.
Oh.
Thanks so much to Bill Holden that he
Yes.
saved our life. He really did save our life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He gave me his name card. He said, Kieu Chinh, anytime you come to America, stay with us. And here's my name, my card. He lived in, I remember it was Palm Spring.
Palm Springs.
Yeah. So that story would come later.
Yeah. So if we could go back to Burt Reynolds and Operation CIA, maybe you can describe what it was like working with Burt and what eventually led you to the United States.
When the Hollywood company came to Vietnam to film Operation CIA,
Mm-hmm.
Burt Reynolds and director, I think his name was Chris Nyby, and the whole film crew came to Saigon. We planned to shoot the movie in Saigon.
In Saigon, okay.
Saigon, south of Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, on the second day, the film crew came. It was the coup d'etat in Saigon.
Great job. Okay.
Curfew under the coup d'etat. Of course, we cannot shoot the movie.
Right. Right.
So the whole film crew decided to move to Thailand.
Oh, to Thailand.
So
Okay.
we shot in Thailand instead of Saigon.
Mm-hmm.
And you asked me, I remember you asked me that how was that working with Burt Reynolds?
With Burt Reynolds, yeah, he was a huge star at that time, right?
He was such a friendly actor.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Full of energy, very friendly, very macho. I remember there was a scene that we ran away on a small sampan, a small boat
Oh, okay.
on the very running river, and there would be a speedboat try to kill us.
Oh,
They fly direct to our boat to kill us. So we had to jump out of the boat. And I said, no, I'm not a good swimmer. I can't jump. Big river. It was a big river and the water running very strongly. I said, I can't because I'm not, I can swim, but not such a good swimmer.
mm-hmm.
And we have to jump, and the speedboat would ran over
Uh-huh.
the boat. I said, oh, this is so bad. And but you do it, I would be under the water too. So don't worry, I will be down there with you too. So,
Right.
So I said, okay, I will jump. So when you see on the boat that when the speedboat came over and we both jumped in different directions.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, where are you, Bert? Where are you? Because we jumped on different directions,
Mm-hmm.
And then he was swim under the boat, under the water, and looking for me and grabbed me in the water. And so scene like that, we cannot take two.
Can I take two? One shot.
Because of the speedboat, our enemy, would breaking our little boat.
Right.
So we can't do it twice, just
Right.
one. And I remember Chris Nyby said, Kieu Chinh, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to jump. And don't worry, we will not kill you too early. You have to finish the movie. We can't kill you now. So don't worry. Burt would be there and our film crew would be there. So just jump, you know. So we jump. We have to jump to make it beautiful for the scene.
Yes.
So we have to like pick up and jump down. Not only go down.
Right. You get a big high up. Yes.
Fly over and go down. And when we fly over, when we falling down, it will be much deeper in the water.
Right. Oh yes.
Or that kind of scene that I had to do with Burt. Anyway, he was there. He would grab me under water, and such a beautiful souvenir. Mm-hmm. And there were also another scene that we went to the boat house in the jungle where would be a snake.
A snake. Wow. Okay.
And I am so scared of snake.
Nobody likes snakes.
I don't even want to look at the snake. I was so scared. Mm-hmm. But he said, we have to go through. We have to go nearby the snake. To nearby so the camera can see us and the snake. And with that kind of thing. And he just grabbed my hand and I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at that. With that kind of thing, it was so funny that we were working together. And, he was fun. He was fun. And the film crew loved him. I remember before the shooting was over, we was invited to one of the film crew family for dinner. And they serving all kind of food, and at the end the wife of the family bring out something very tasty dishes, something fried and deep with the sauce, and they said that this is a very famous dishes in Thailand. So I eat one, Burt eat one, and Burt say, what is that? Is that pork or beef or what? He said, no, this is snake food. I just swallow one piece. No. How can I take it out now? I just swallow one piece. It was snake fry something and dipping in some salt. Oh my God. So it was so fun to work with Burt. He said, it's okay. We won't die. If they can eat it, we can eat it. We won't die. Okay. Oh my God! So it was a beautiful souvenir. Mm-hmm. Also in South Vietnam, I worked in another movie called Destination Vietnam.
Destination.
That is a co-production between Hollywood and Philippines. And I have the opportunity to working with another famous actor from Philippines. His name was Leopoldo Salcedo, the top actor in Philippines. Mm-hmm. We shot the movie in Tây Ninh, which is the border, South Vietnam, the border of Cambodia and Tây Ninh. Curfew time. Because at night time, the company's shooting, so there's a curfew, and we have to stay in the bunker at night time. 6 p.m. is the wrap of the day, and everybody go down to the bunker and live there during the shooting. And when that movie premiered in Philippines, we have maybe it will not happen the second time. The only premiere I have in my life is such amazing way. They welcome us arriving in Philippines in a military way. Red carpet from the airplane, from the airport. And we were picked up by an open jeep. The jeep with a gun, the big cannon on the jeep. We're going from airport to town and people on the both side of the street with waving at us.
Amazing.
Leopoldo Salcedo and me on the open jeep with a gun, military way, and above was a helicopter, drop flyer to welcome us, the stars of the movie, and about the movie, Destination Vietnam.
Destination.
So I don't think it will happen the second time in my career. It was amazing until I worked quite a few films in Southeast Asia at that time. In Philippines as well, and then in Philippines 2 more movies, and then in Thailand 3 more movies, and the last movie before the fall of Saigon, I worked in Singapore.
In Singapore.
The movie called Full House in Singapore. At that time in South Vietnam, I had my own movie company. It called Giao Chỉ Company. Giao Chỉ Company, we produce a film that become the very first Vietnam movie receive 2 awards in Asian Film Festival. One for the best film and the second for the best actress. The film called Warrior, Who Are You? Directed by my dear friend, famous director Hoàng Vĩnh Lộc. It was 1971. Yeah, 1971. Until 1974, my last movie in Singapore was Full House.
Full House.
During the time shooting that movie, the fall of South Vietnam is the 30th of April, 1975. And I was shooting the movie at the end of March till mid-April. Every day shooting the movie. The movie story is about young people, fun, dancing, playing music, singing, dancing, have fun. But deep down in my heart, I was so worried about the situation of my country, about my family, left in Saigon. And every day I receive a telegram, phone call from Saigon that don't go back. Stay there, keep the money, keep the dollar, stay there. Because of millions of people now in South Vietnam, in Saigon, are finding the way to get out. Everybody finding a way to change money, piastre, the dong money, the Vietnamese dong piastre, turn to dollar and leave the country. And at that time, I just finished 3 movies, 2 in Thailand and 1 in Singapore. And I have quite a few dollars. They said that don't go back. Stay there, keep the money. So every day on the set, I was happy, fun, dancing, singing, playing music. But when leaving the set, my heart was burning.
Sure.
Burning. What should I do? Go home or stay? I go back. I go back to Saigon. At the time, the whole city was in panic. People running around looking for a way to get out. And I was out and I'm coming back. The plane coming back, I'm the only one passenger. I went back on a plane, that plane going to pick up the people from American Embassy to go out. And other embassy, for all the embassy family to go out. I go back. I go back to see that all my money I had to change into Vietnamese dollar, Vietnamese monies.
Mhm.
At the airport, I had to change. I cannot bring dollar in. And going home, my family was mad with me. They said, I told you not to go back. Why you go back?
Mhm.
And I go back, I see that every morning wake up, I see that the communists come closer to town. Every morning I wake up, I see we lost one city. We lost Hue, we lost Nha Trang, we lost Ban Mae Thuột. We losing the communist soldier coming closer and closer to us. And in the close to the very last day, my family told me that I have to get out because I'm still having a passport. Greg, you have to understand that that time nobody could leave the country without a passport, and nobody would have the passport. It's very difficult to leave the country without any official reason. I carry a diplomatic passport since the movie I made in India. That the media in India call me the goodwill ambassador from South Vietnam. Therefore, when I come back to Saigon, I was granted a diplomatic passport. With that passport, I thought that I could leave the country anytime, which I did. So on the 23rd of April, my dear friend, the dear friend of my family, say that tomorrow we will have, he is the vice president of Vietnam Airlines. He told me that tomorrow Vietnam Airlines would have a last flight out of Saigon. We will go to Philippines. So he said, okay, Chinh, you pack everything, and tonight, because at that time the Saigon is curfew, tonight I will take the VIP car with the flight VIP. I will pick you up at 3 in the morning. We go to the airport. The plane will take off at 8. So I packed 7 suitcases, everything I can pack. And 3 o'clock in the morning, my friend with a VIP flight car pick me up. We go to the airport. At the airport, was millions of people, so crowded. Everybody trying to get out. But most of the people who were able to enter the airport, they are American soldiers, American with their Vietnamese wife and children, or the girlfriends, or others, military like Philippines, like Korea and Canadian, and all the people at the airport. And the plane's supposed to take off at 8 o'clock. But I think it was around 6 a.m. The airport get attacked. The mortar attacked the airport.
Oh my God.
It was so chaos. No plane can take off. No plane can take off. I stayed there for another day at the airport until the next morning. No more mortar attack. And then there is one Pan American plane take off with the American embassy's family only. My friend, Mr. Ms.Chinh, he's the vice president of Vietnam Airlines. He knows everybody at the airport, of course, from the airline. He told me that, Chinh, I was able to get one seat for you So go with our luggage.
Mhm.
At the very last minutes before the plane take off, he grabbed my hand. I was able to put only one of my handbag. I always carry the handbag. In the handbag, only my passport. You know, I always carry a small address book with telephone and addresses, emergency telephone, and a few Vietnamese money, no use, in my pocket. So with that bag, and my friend grabbed my hand, we ran to the piste, crossed the piste to the plane before the plane closed the door. He pushed me to the plane, and he pushed me all the way. He was able to get on the plane. Pushed me, no more seat available for me. I had to go all the way at the end of the plane. There was a seat belonged to the flight crew attendant at the area where they're serving drinks and food at the end, behind the toilet, the restroom. So he asked one of the flight attendant give her that seat, and he pushed me down, and then he ran back. He had to go. No seat for him. He can't go. He ran back. He said, go. But he told me the plane is not going to Philippines. They go back to Singapore. They go to Singapore. So you know that you'll go to Singapore, not Philippines. He already arranged for people to see me in Philippines by the Air Vietnam people. But Singapore, no, we didn't plan for that. So he left the plane, the door closed, the plane took off. We landed in Singapore. The moment I landed in Singapore, they put me in jail.
Oh my God.
Due to my passport belonged to a government that no longer in power. I became a stateless person. I don't have an entry visa. My passport belonged to a government that about to lose. They call it no longer in power. And they stamp on my passport like stateless. So my entry is illegal. They put me in jail. I was in jail for one night. The next day, when all the women, all kind of women in jail, when we go to the restroom to clean up in the morning, when I stay in line, I saw one soldiers, the guard, I don't know, soldier or police or something, the guard of jail. They are reading a magazine, and the magazine cover is my photo. Because I just finished a movie there.
Right.
I just finished a movie just 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
Just 2 weeks ago, media, daily newspaper, magazine, a lot of my photo on there. So I was trying to ask the soldier, please, you reading the magazine with my, actually I have the magazine back there. Yeah, I have the magazine. And this is me. Would you allow me to make a phone call? I would like to call my embassy. Ask for help.
Sure.
He looked at me and he just gave me, a kind of look. Like he didn't believe me. He looked at me, from head to toes, and then he go back to reading. So he looked at that and he see that, it was me. Then he allowed me to make a phone call to my embassy. The people, I call the ambassador of South Vietnam there, who happened to be my friend as well, Mr. Ambassador Suyuan Woo. And I also call my leading man that I just finished working with him. He happened to be the son of the chief police of Singapore.
Oh my God. Okay.
So they came to jail and get me out. But they allowed me out of jail only 48 hours. I have to get out of Singapore. They deport me. Within 48 hours, I have to get out of the country. And my ambassador friend, he go around to all embassies, all other embassies, asking for a visa for me to go anywhere. Just get out of Singapore. But unfortunately, at that time, no other country would grant me a visa, which means I can't go anywhere. So with the help from my embassy and my friend there telling me that Saigon, South Vietnam is going to fall anytime now, going to fall into communist. And it is like a regulation or rule, forgive me for my English,
Oh, English. Perfect.
of immigration.
Mm-hmm.
If a passenger on a plane landing anywhere that his or her country turned to communist, that passenger would allow to enter that country as a refugee.
Oh, wow.
But not yet.
Okay.
Saigon is not falling yet. I cannot go anywhere. I cannot become refugee. So with the help from my friend in movie industry and from the embassy, they bought me an airplane ticket, a very expensive ticket to go around the world, buying time, so that the moment wherever I landed, I will become refugee of that country.
Okay.
So after 48 hours limit time, I left Singapore. I went to Bangkok, Thailand. From Thailand, I went to Hong Kong. From Hong Kong, I went to Korea. From Korea, I went to Taipei. From Taipei, I went to Japan. From Japan, I went to France, where I really hoped that it would the time, because my family, my sister, my uncle, they live in France. I wish that I could land it there to join my family there. But no, not yet. When I landed in Charles de Gaulle airport, I wired my sister already before I came about my where I go around. My sister waiting for me at Charles de Gaulle airport. We see each other, we both in tears, we cry, but we cannot talk or cannot even touch each other. We are between the glass wall.
Oh.
We saw each other, we yell, we cry, until the announcement again. I had to go back to the plane. And from Paris, I went to London. From London, I went to New York. From New York, I flew to Toronto, Canada. The plane landed 6 p.m. I remember clearly 6 p.m. on April 30th. There, I heard Saigon fell. I became the first refugee in Toronto. Refugee. When I went to the immigration, they said that you are the first refugee in Toronto, Canada. So I became refugee there. But very lucky that in Canada, that my sister-in-law and my 3 children also live there.
Oh, okay.
I went there for school.
Mm-hmm.
But I landed there without money. April. No money.
Mm-hmm.
I went to, they call Welcome House, the government. A few days later, I went to Welcome House looking for help.
Mm-hmm.
They give me a big coat because it's still very cold. I have nothing but clothes on my back.
Oh, wow.
I only have the jean clothes on my back and a small handbag. That's all I have. It's still very cold, and they gave me a big coat and $75. That is all. You are on your own. And they said that I have to looking for job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I went to the job placement for interview. There, the interview asked me, "What is your professional skill?" I told her that I am an actress. She looked at me. She said that we are not doing casting here. There are the list of job on the wall, a big wall on the wall, with many job title. In front of each title job, there is a small box, square box. Whatever the box have a check, which means that job has been taken. So they say that you look at that, whatever available, you take it. I look all kind of good job, like telephonist or whatever, nurse, or working in a hospital, working on beauty salon, whatever. So all being checked. Only the last job, the box is empty, is cleaning after the chicken. The only job available.
Cleaning up the chicken.
Cleaning after chicken.
Oh, okay.
Minimum wage per hour, $2.25.
Oh my God.
And not working in the city. It's a little bit far out of skirt city.
Mm-hmm.
I have no choice. I have to take it.
You have no choice.
So that was my first job as a refugee.
Okay.
Cleaning after the chicken. Every morning I had to wake up very early, 4:30, 5 o'clock, take the subway to go to Saburo, out of skirt of the city. I have to be there before the chicken wake up.
Oh my God.
So the first going there, they provide me a long book cover above my knees, with a like a raincoat cover over the boot, and with a mask, and then told me to go to the where all the water pump and hole. They give me a hose. Greg, this is not a garden hose, small tiny hose. This is a big hose.
Big hose.
Fire truck hose.
Fire truck.
Very heavy.
Yeah.
Very heavy for me. You cannot hold like that. They told me that you have to put over your shoulder, lift the shoulder, take the weight, the heavy, and hold onto the hose. And then when they turn on the water, the pressure of the water would fly you out.
Yes.
So I have to do that. I have to walk for miles.
Oh my God.
8 hours.
Oh my God.
Cleaning the chicken farm. Huge mile. Cleaning. And when you clean and when the sun come up, all the smell, very strong smell, make you feel like you want to, vomit.
Mhm.
Um, I worked like that for 3 days. I get sick. So with all the salary that I worked for 3 days in the chicken farm,
Mhm.
and the $75 that the welcome home gave it to me, I decided I had to go to America.
Mhm.
I had to go to America. I want to go back to acting.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's the only thing I know how to do.
Mhm.
The first person I called was Mr. William Holden.
Mhm. Mhm.
Remember, I
Yes.
mentioned earlier that he gave me the card,
Mhm.
and he told me that, Ching, anytime you go to America, stay with us.
Mhm.
And this is our phone, our call. So I called that number, and there was a woman voice answered the phone. I asked her, I said, "Are you Mrs. Holden?
Mhm.
My name is Kieu Chinh. I came from Vietnam.
Mhm.
I was Mr. Holden's friend. Could I talk to him?"
Mhm.
She said, "Yes, but I am Mrs. Holden, but we were divorced.
Ah, okay.
We divorced.
Mhm.
I don't know where he is now."
Mm.
I told her that this is very important, life and death.
Mhm.
Very important. I talk to him. She said, "Okay." She was very kind to me. She was
Mhm.
very nice. She said, "I think you can call his agent. He would know who he is."
Mhm.
And she was very nice. Gave me his agent phone number.
Mhm.
So I called William Holden's agent. His agent told me that Mr. Holden is out of the country.
Ah,
We went hunting.
oh no.
We don't know when he's coming back.
Ah,
The second person I called was Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. Mhm.
Right? He was my leading man.
Sure.
I called. But there was a woman voice. I don't know who it kept telling me that he's not available. He's not available.
Mm.
The third person I called was Clanford. He doesn't remember who I was.
Ah,
I'm running out of money.
yes.
My God, long distance call at that time from Canada to America is not cheap. It's not like nowadays.
Yes.
Long distance call at that time is a lot of money. So I opened my address book. There's only one more name that I know in America. But this name I met only one time, and that time was 10 years ago.
Mhm.
That was actress Tippi Hedren.
Uh-huh.
I called her,
Mhm.
but I'm not sure that she would remember because I met her only one time 10 years ago. I met her in 1965. She was guest on my show. So I called with a very thin hope that she remember me.
Mhm.
She picked up the phone. She said, "This is Tippi Hedren. Who is that?" I said, "Tippi, this is Kieu Chinh. Remember me? Kieu Chinh from Vietnam, South Vietnam. Remember me? I'm the movie actor." I was so nervous because this is my last hope,
Of course.
my last dollar and my last hope. I said,
Mhm.
"Tippi, this is Kieu Chinh. Help me. This is Kieu Chinh from Saigon." And I was crying like mad.
Mhm.
And she said, calm down, stop crying. Yes, I do remember you. I was thinking of you when Saigon fall into communism. I wonder if you're still there, dead or alive. I'm very happy that you call. Now tell me, where are you now? I said, tell me. I said, "DP, you have to call me back. I have no more money." And then the phone is about running out of time. Call me back. This is number. Call back. And oh my God, I'm sorry. She called me back.
Okay.
She told me to calm down.
Mhm.
It would be okay. Calm down. I will take care of that. We both cried. And 4 days later, she sent me an airplane ticket with a telegram that welcome actress Kieu Chinh to America
Oh, thank God.
to inaugurate a refugee camp in Sacramento.
Mhm.
You know, the telegram is only a kind of formality for get a visa
I see.
to enter to America.
Mhm.
For a reason, I cannot just go in. I don't have a passport and nationality Canadian yet.
Mhm.
At that time, T.P. Hadron assisting Dr. Larry Ward, the president of a organization called Food for the Hungry.
Mhm.
Food for the Hungry organization sponsored 500 Vietnamese refugees from Vietnam to Sacramento. It was the very first camp for Vietnamese refugees in Sacramento.
Oh.
So I came. Tippy receiving me at a small airport. I remember it was late at night. Small airport at Sacramento,
Mhm.
very cold. And Tippy and me, we see each other. It's just like, just I can't express the feeling. I can't express
I can imagine.
the feeling of the two of us.
Mhm.
We keep holding each other without word. Nobody say anything.
Mhm.
Both cry. And then he said, okay, let's go. Where is your luggage? No luggage. I just came with clothes on my back. No luggage. So I'm sorry. I stayed there after the few days, and then Tippy brought me back to her house.
Mhm.
I stayed with her. At that time, Melanie Griffith, her daughter,
Yes.
just moved out with her man, Don
Mhm.
Chuck. I think.
Don Johnson.
So
Mhm.
I stay at Tippy at the Melanie room.
Mhm.
Don, I met Don Johnson there. Melanie was there. So I stayed there for a while. That Tippy was running around every day, drive me around, go to immigration. My God, she is everything to me. She had to sign all kind of paper to sponsor me
Mhm.
so that I can stay in America.
Mhm.
You know, Greg, when you sponsor somebody,
Yes.
you are responsible for that person. So I came to America not under any refugee official government refugee system.
Mhm.
I have no help from government or got any thing here beside Tippy Hadron. If anything happened to me, Tippy is responsible for me. For
Mhm.
that. So she opened her arms and her heart. Tippy. She opened her arm and her heart to take me in.
Wonderful person.
Wonderful person.
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful person.
Mhm.
And then William Holden returned
Ah,
hunting.
okay.
Got my message.
He got your message.
He sent me the biggest bouquet of flowers that I have never received in my life. It's a bouquet. It's a big box. A big box. It's about 100 to 200 roses.
Wow.
Big box of roses with a card. Said, welcome to America.
Oh,
Make
beautiful.
this land your home.
Uh-huh.
He called me. I said, I need job. I need to work. Anyway, this is a very long story.
No,
Anyway,
it's good.
him, Mr. Holden, and T.P. Hadron help me. How can I work in Hollywood as an actor without an agent,
Yes. So it's
without become membership of Screen
Yeah.
Actors SAG,
yes.
SAG card
Mhm.
and agent, and they this I cannot prove that I was an actress. I cannot prove that I was famous in Southeast Asia.
Mhm.
William Holden told me that anybody ask who you are or you was, tell them to call me, which means him.
Great.
So he was able to put me at William Morris Agency.
William Morrison is
Yes.
very nice.
You know, William Morris Agency is very big, right?
Yeah, that's one of the best.
They will not take me in as a refugee
Right.
without seeing my work.
Right.
So Bill Holden says that talk to me, talk to him. I will tell them who you are. So I was taken in by William Morris Agency.
Fantastic.
And I have a membership card from SAG. Don Johnson took me out for audition.
Don Johnson did. Yeah.
At that time, I remember he was working in the movie, something like with Dustin Hoffman. I forgot something about the government. I forgot the title. But anyway, I went out. I never auditioned before in my life. I don't know what audition.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. Okay.
In Vietnam, I don't go for audition.
Uh-huh.
If you want me in your movie, you ask me. I don't go for reading.
Right.
I don't go out for audition.
Okay.
So one day, T.P. Hadron took me to a Hollywood party.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was the party, the premiere of the movie Jaws.
Jaws.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't go to Hollywood party. I don't know anybody else but T.P. her family.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a kind of lost in the party. Mm-hmm. Everybody was, so many beautiful people dressed up and Hollywood star and actors. Yes. And I'm so lonely there.
Yes.
I took my drink and standing in the corner by myself. Uh-huh. Yeah, at that time I smoked cigarette. I was with my cigarette standing in the corner with my cigarette. And somebody saw me standing there. Mm-hmm. He asked somebody, who is that? And somebody told him who I was. Mm-hmm. Now, that somebody happened to be Mr. Burt Reynolds, executive producer of show MASH. I didn't know the story until it happened.
Right.
That months later, my agent called me. Mm-hmm. He said, Ching, I'm surprised. I received a phone call from MASH Production asking for you.
Oh,
this
wow.
is something different.
Yes.
Usually, I am the one who looking around to send you for audition.
Yes.
But I received phone call, they asked for you. Go. So I went there. He said, go and call me right back after the meeting.
Okay.
I go there, and after the meeting, I call my agent right away. He said, how it happened? Who did you see? Tell me, what happened? I was very calm. I said that, well, I met two gentlemen. One named Burt Reynolds, Alan Alda. He said, oh my God.
Alan Alda.
He said, oh my God, the two famous two
right.
main person of the show. Do you know who is Alan Alda? I said, no, I don't know. Have you seen MASH? I said, no. TV. I don't even see the TV. I never seen Mesh before. I don't know who's Alan Armour. He said, "Oh my God!" So what did they say? They, how was the audition? They said they didn't. What audition? They just asked me.
He just said,
and they said, "Go home, read the script. If you like it, you're that's all."
wow.
My agent said, "Oh my God!"
Wow.
He said, "Okay, you read the script. I have to looking for, paperwork." The day I went to the set, for the first time after a long journey, I have went through.
Yes.
I see my chair with my name
Wonderful.
on the set.
Yes.
My chair next to my leading man, Alan Arthur's chair with his name.
Yes.
I said, "Oh my God, is that me?" It was the most memorable, beautiful week working on the set. Team was so wonderful to work with.
Oh.
It was fun, it was friendly, it was caring. And when it is wrapped, I go home by bus. I didn't have car yet. At that time, I could go to bed.
Yes, yeah.
Go home. On the bus, left the set. I cried. I said, "Oh my God, this is over. I wish it's longer, but it's over." I go back to my apartment, the empty apartment.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I walk in, my phone ring. I was surprised. I didn't expect any phone call.
Right.
And the phone ring. I pick up the phone. He said, "Ching, this is Alan." I said, "What?" And he told me that, "I know how you feel. Thank you for the time working with you. Make us realize that we've been taking advantage of our life in Hollywood, of our situation.
I see.
I know what you have gone through. And thank you. I enjoy working with you." Tear came to my eyes.
I can imagine.
And later, on some show, I don't remember, interview him. I remember he said something that later it caught on the TV guide. He said, "Kieu Chinh is so talented. Hollywood must have a place for her." That's what he said. And it was caught. I think it was Johnny Carson's show or something.
Amazing.
I don't remember exactly. But it caught on it printed on TV guide.
Oh, wow.
So that was the most beautiful work that I received as an exile artist in America.
From the role on MASH, then you started getting pretty busy, fairly busy, being on TV and whatnot. What led to the role on Jola Club, which most people remember you for? I know myself, my family were so unbelievably touched by your performance. I think anybody that is of Asian descent understands the feelings in that movie and understands the heart and soul of what that movie was portraying. I know my parents are Korean, and I know they went through something very similar to what was portrayed in the movie, but something very similar to your life experiences as well. Can you describe how you landed a role on Joy Luck Club, or how that came to you?
I don't know how to say it. It sounds like my destiny, Greg. I went out for a lot of audition. You're lucky you got one tiny part, because of every audition, every time that they have a tiny parts, it's just few line, tiny part, but so many Asian actresses there. You name them. We from Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Thailandese, Philippines, India, Vietnamese. But we all look alike.
Yes.
Right? We are Asian. We all look alike.
Right.
So I went out for audition. Only landed in small part here and there. I worked in a lot of shows.
Yes.
From China Beach to Hotel to Santa Barbara, from Vietnam War stories, you name them. I've been in many small shows until Oliver Stone Productions preparing shooting Heaven and Earth.
Heaven and Earth. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was asked. I think the casting. I forgot the name now. Oh, her name is Burt Reynolds, casting director for Heaven and Earth, asking me help to looking for some Vietnamese in the Vietnamese community for the movie. So I was helping that, casting some small part for Vietnamese character in the movie. So I was in the building, Oliver Stone's building, working on that. And in the same building, there's an opposite office. They are casting for Joy Luck Club. I know that, but I didn't go for that because I read the book Joy Luck Club already. So I know this is all about Chinese women. I do not speak Chinese. So I was sitting out there and one casting director of the Joy Luck Club, it was Heidi Levitt. Heidi Levitt. She said, she saw me sitting there. She said, why don't you go into this audition? I told her that, yeah, but I do not speak Chinese. She said, just go in. So I go in. I met director Wayne Wang there. I met Amy Tan there. I met Ron Bass, the scriptwriter, the famous scriptwriter there. They all talked to me. Just talk. Because I didn't prepare for audition or anything. So, and then they gave me, Wayne Wang gave me the script. You read the script, read the character of the four mothers, and come back here tomorrow.
Wow.
So I go home, I read the script, I come back, and it's funny, he didn't ask me to read.
He didn't ask you to
talk. He said that. He said, if you have the choice to choose one mother, which one would you choose? I said, thanks to Amy Tan. I enjoy the story so much. The way you wrote, I have the feeling that each character, I am a little bit in each character. I love all the characters. But if I have a choice, I will pick up Mother Suyuan, the mother, because Mother Suyuan has a background almost similar to my own life.
Yes.
My own background.
Yes.
I came from the country war. Wayne Wang said, exactly, that's what I have in mind about you. I'm glad. You are strong. So I got it.
Oh, wow.
You see, so both two projects that I enjoy the most, Mesh and Joy Luck Club. We get along so well. We have fun. The movie shot in San Francisco.
In San Francisco, okay.
Yeah, most of the movie shot in San Francisco.
Even the war scene when you were with the babies?
Most of the movie, I say most of the movie. At that time, I don't know, should I allow to talk about this or not, but yeah, maybe the project is done, maybe I could share a little bit. At that time, when Wayne, the director, told me that the budget was limited, he wanted to shot the movie in China.
Yes.
the budget was limited. So he cannot bring me to China to shoot it. But later, when Disney company see the daily, he see that. At first, I remember the story director when told me that. Amy-Chinh also told me that it was very difficult to get this story off the ground because nobody believed that. Oh my God, the story is all about women and all about China and Asia, and who would interested in that? So it was very difficult to get the whole project off the ground until lucky that Disney picked up, but they give a limited budget until they see the daily. It's, it's quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So when asking for 3 more millions added to the budget, and with that extra adding, the company was able to bring me and the actor who played my daughter, Ming-Na Wen, to China.
Amazing.
Yeah, for Ming-Na Wen, scene, the ending scene.
Yes.
That Ming-Na going looking for her twin's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That's the endings of the movie.
Yes.
Shot in Shanghai.
That was in Shanghai. Okay.
Yeah, but for my scene, go back, flashback.
Yes.
When I was young, during the wartime,
mm-hmm.
I left my twin babies China during the wartime. That scene we shot in Quillam. I don't know how to pronounce that. In Quillam.
Mm-hmm. Quillam. Mm-hmm.
Quillam, yeah. I could never forget the scene in Quillam. It was so cold. So cold in Quillam. And Amy-Chinh was with me, the producer, director, everybody was ready. I forgot the name of the producer. Anyway, everybody was prepared for the most important scene.
Yes.
That in that village with the big tree.
Yes.
Wang is very difficult for his take. Must be like that.
Mm-hmm.
He said the take must be at 6 a.m. when the sun hit the tree.
Uh-huh.
When the sun hit the real sun hit through me, between me and the 2 babies.
Yes.
Camera. So the next morning, it was so cold, but everybody had to wrap so many layers of coat, and even they wrap the raincoat even with the foil paper.
Oh.
Cold, so cold. But Wayne told me that you cannot wear all of that. Just one coat to make the beauty of that. And the 2 baby, the family with that twin baby, that was their first baby. They don't want their baby to be too cold.
Sure.
They have to wrap them so well, and the grandma was there. The grandma from the mother's side, the grandma from the father's side, they all love their children. They keep holding the children, the child, and they only allow when the camera is ready, then they put the baby there, and not for preparation. No, something like that. For preparation, we have to use a fake baby, and all of that kind of thing. And for me, and when we go there the next day, 5 o'clock, we have to be there for preparation. And the moment we went there, and the producer said, no, we cannot shoot. I said, what? They said that the villager said that we do not have their permit to shoot here. So what? The producer said that we do have permit to work here. They said, yes, sir, you have permit, but up in the city. You don't have permit in this village. So go back to the city and work in the city.
Oh, God.
But not in this village.
Okay.
Oh my God. So they keep arguing back and forth until 8 o'clock. The sun is gone. When he said, oh no, I need the morning sun. I will not work without the morning sun going this way. So we had to come back the next day.
Oh my God.
The next day, the producer have to deal with the village, pay them extra money. And even the tree, we have to pay extra money to have that tree, the 2 houses there.
Oh my God.
The tree belonged to next to their house.
Right. Oh wow.
Can you imagine with all of that difficulty?
And it's so cold too.
So cold.
Right.
And then in the morning, that was the wrap. No, I have to share with you, Greg, about taking the scene.
Yes, please.
I know how the whole production have went through difficulty, money, difficulty, permit, working, and so many things. And I asked Wayne, are there anything you tell me about the scene?
Mhm.
To prepare about the scene? He holding me. He said, nothing.
Okay.
You do how you feel. I wouldn't say anything. You can speak any languages as you feel. You don't have to speak Chinese at the scene.
Mhm.
Just do the way how you feel it.
Yes.
And he asked the whole set. Camera is on, but not on me. I don't have to act yet. The camera is on, waiting for me. Everybody is quiet, waiting for me. He asked me, Chinh, you go on your own. They put the 2 babies there. Now the baby is yours. Do it. I go there. It was streaming. But you know what? Honestly, I remember when I told Wayne that I love the character because it is similar to my own life. I remember the time that my father left me. And now I just consider how he feels. I am now the mother, left my twin babies in China. So instead of speaking Chinese, if anybody look at that scene again, you will see that I speak Vietnamese. I call out, con, con, con. I call out in Vietnamese. The moment I slip out, I didn't even hear the cut. When just signal something cut. He came and grabbed me. I said, one more take. He said, no, just one take. So one take. So that was the scene, just one take. Go all difficulty, one take.
That was a amazing scene. Amazing.
Yeah, but I remember, and then the producer wrapped me and picked me out of the village. In the evening, everybody was so happy because tomorrow we go back to the United States.
Mhm.
So that day was everybody would go to the bar, drink, and Amy Tan don't see me. She doesn't see me at the bar because everybody was there before the dinner, and she didn't see me there. She'd go to my room, knock on my door. She said, "Ching, what happened? Everybody's waiting for you. Go down, go down. Everybody's at the bar. We have drink now." And she grabbed me. She said, "Oh my God, what happened? I was so hot. I had fever. I was sick.
Oh, you guys.
I was so sick. Not that day. I sick since the day before." She said, "Oh my God, Jim, what happened? Why don't you tell us? You were sick."
Yeah.
I said, "But what can I tell you? Can I tell the producer and Wayne Wang that I'm sick? I'm sorry, I cannot work. You all have to wait for me because
Right.
it's only me, the actor. If I told you that I'm sick, then everybody sit there and wait for another day." So, how it was happened that I was so sick that day, cold, sick, but I'm still working. And Wayne is happy about the scene. So, thank to Wayne, thank to everybody. That thank for the whole team. I have really enjoyed working with that whole team. Amazing, and we became good friends. Ming Na Wen as my daughter, other young actors. We've been working together before as mom and daughter.
Yes.
And later, good friend of Lisa Liu and France Nguyen and Sai-Ching. We all, get along. So wonderful.
Mhm.
And amazing that wherever we go now, we just have 25th anniversary of Joy Luck Club and 25 years already.
25 years.
People still recognize us wherever you go.
Yes.
I go to Paris at the airport, they recognize me. I go to London, they recognize me. I go to New York, but people still recognize that. That's an amazing movie.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Thank to Wayne Wang, thank to Disney, pick up that story. Wonderful.
I recommend anybody listening to, if you have not seen that movie, see that movie. That is the best Asian American movie by far. Nothing comes close to it. And for so many Asian Americans, it represented so many of the feelings that we had, a lot of the history that we have, a lot of the family dynamic and how the family works, mother to daughter. But even for me as a man, my dad, to me, a lot of those sentiment, a lot of that, what you want for your children or what the experiences of being an immigrant coming to the United States, it's all portrayed so beautifully in that movie.
Yeah, wonderful.
Wonderful.
All characters.
All characters.
The four daughters. All so wonderful. Ming Na Wen and Tomlin and
Rosalind Chow.
And they're all wonderful. All four mothers, each character.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. It was. I'm so happy that Joy Luck Club was able to kind of open the door for Asian movie.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So amazing. Wherever we go, we see that we were welcome. The movie was welcome.
Yes, absolutely. Why do you think it took so long between Joy Luck Club to Crazy Rich Asians to have another movie? In my opinion, they're two different type of movies. I don't think Crazy Rich Asians was a great movie, but it's not the same as Joy Luck Club on any means. But why do you think it took so long for that to happen? And is it going to be so long for the next one? That's what I'm worried about.
Good question, Greg. Very good question. I asked that question myself for so long. I thought that after the Joy Luck Club, Asian actors would have a lot of work.
Yes.
A lot of story more. But I was surprised. Nothing happened. Why? I thought that after the Joy Luck Club, after the box office of the Joy Luck Club, the Asian story would blooming,
Yes.
and there would be a lot of character for all of us to work. But nothing happened. It was sad, so sad, until crazy rich Asian woman, rich,
Crazy Rich Asians.
yeah, and until that movie. Congratulations to the crazy rich Asian happened, and I hope that we don't have to wait for another 10 years, 25 years.
That was about 25 years, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a long time.
I hope so. I hope that we don't have to wait for another 25 years to have another Asian movie get into box office.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It was what I liked about the fact, both movies, is that it portrayed Asians, I think in the right light, for once, it showed Asians in roles that were not normally shown, right? So you get to see the dramatic aspect in Joy Luck Club, the rich, the deep lives that Asian Americans live. And then in Crazy Rich Asians, it got to show the beauty and the aspect of something to be proud of as Asians.
I hope that we don't have to wait for another 25 years to have another Asian movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Vietnam War was in front page media for 15 years. Vietnam War then was the longest war in America history.
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam was on headline, front page, print media, electronic media for 15 years. Many books have written about Vietnam War. Many movies have made about Vietnam War. But most of the books and the movies was made by the outsider. And the outsider only see Vietnam as the face of war, of explosion, of killing, of barbed wire, of blood. Where are we? The human being, the people. Even war, we still have culture. We are still people with love, with passion. I don't see that yet. I'm still hoping. I'm still hoping that someday there will be a movie about that country, about its people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to see younger generation, my Vietnamese younger generation movie people, like director Ms.Chinh. He has made the movie called Journey from the Fall.
Journey from the Fall. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that my dear friend Alan Ford was one of the producer, and Ms.Chinh was the director.
Mm-hmm.
I also worked in that movie, a part of Grandma, Black Timber. I'm happy to see that Ms.Chinh and Alan Ford, they are young generation. But they enter the motion picture industry, they're thinking of their country, of their people, of the root, and they're making war movie, but in more of the side as more of the people life. Yeah. And there is so many talented out there. So many talented young generation, from books to media to movie. From book we have, I'm very proud of my friend Mr. Viet Nguyen. he wrote the book, and he was the first Vietnamese to have a Pulitzer Prize.
Pulitzer Prize. Wow.
Yeah, Pulitzer Prize for his young writer, very young synthesizer, Pulitzer Prize. I hope that his book would turn to a movie.
Yes.
Yeah, and many out there on media, talented like Betty Nguyen. She was anchor on CNN.
Yes.
And Lee Nam Nguyen, anchor on TV here, and so many out there. And now go back to the movie industry.
Yes.
We have so many talented from Ms.Chinh, I just mentioned that movie, The Journey from the Fall, received 88 awards around the world.
Wow.
Yeah, and we have actresses like Ngô Thanh Vân. She was on Star Wars, and recently she was on Spike Lee movie. Will be shown tonight.
Yes.
On Spike Lee movie.
Yes.
And we have actress Hồng Châu. She is in Downsizer movie.
Downsizing, yes.
Yes, and I admire so many of them.
Yes.
And from my dear one that I love him so much, Tony Bui, director. He was one of the very first one in America, young generation. He made the movie 3 seasons.
3 seasons.
Yeah, and latest one, Bảo Nguyễn. I'm so proud of him. He is the producer, writer, director of the documentary about Bruce Lee, Be Water.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Documentary.
Fantastic. That's right. That was him. That's right. I remember. Yes, very recent.
Yeah, no, Bruce Lee is a kind of symbolic of us,
all ages. Yes.
the Asian.
Yes.
Actor
Yes.
from Hollywood.
Yes.
Going back to Asia.
Yes.
Became famous, became the symbolic.
Yeah.
Yeah. At first, he wasn't big welcome in Hollywood.
No, unfortunately.
Look at him as an Asian.
Yeah.
Second, third part.
Yes.
Could not become a leading man.
Yes.
Until he go back to Asia. Until Raymond Chow produced.
Yes.
All of his big movie, Bruce Lee movie.
Yes.
He become, the symbolic of Asian.
Yes.
To make all of us proud of.
Very much.
Up at him.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Bruce Lee.
Yes, absolutely.
To pave the way for us.
Yes.
Go up. Yeah. And thanks to Bảo Nguyễn, he made that documentary. So now the world see who is Bruce Lee and what he has went through to make he become Bruce Lee.
Yes.
And Bảo did a wonderful job.
He did an excellent job. Excellent. Could you please tell me what your next project is, or what you're looking to do next?
Well, I have, of course, that I have dreams.
Yes. Yes.
And I am a little bit great about my dream.
Okay.
I remember every year when April comes, I feel, I don't know, anxiety or something, because it flashed back for me how it happened in the month of April.
April.
The fall of Saigon. Millions and millions of people's life changed. My life changed. I lost my loved one. I lost my property. I lost my film company. And at some point, I even lost my own identity to become an exile living in a foreign land. It's very difficult. So every year in the month of April, it flashed back to me with all the time and how I left my country, I was in jail, how I was flip-flop on the air, around the world and landed as a refugee, and how I came here with nothing but clothes on my back. And so it's very difficult, to have all of that sad memory until 4 years ago. It was also in the month of April. I feel so sad. And I don't want that anymore. I have to do something. I decided, okay, 40 years ago, in the month of April, I was free-flop on the air, flying around the world with no destination. Don't know where to go, don't know where to land it.
Yes.
This time, I would like to be on a plane, but I know exactly where I want to go, who I want to meet. So I decided, I bought a ticket. I go to Dharamsala with the hope that I will meet His Holiness Dalai Lama.
Dalai Lama.
Which I did.
Wonderful.
Amazing. Amazing. I went there like other million of people went there. Everybody see him, right? Everybody want to meet him. On the first day, I see His Holiness teaching, and the people of the organization say that tomorrow morning, His Holiness will bless whatever you wish. You write down on a piece of paper, very short, what do you wish him to bless you? So, like other 1,000 people there, I wrote down of what I wish. After I wrote the list of my wish, I see that, oh my God, this is a long list. I wished that I would have a big movie at the end of my life. Something like Schindler's List, something like Pianist, something like Life is Beautiful.
Yes.
The movie that I love.
Yes.
I wish I have that kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
One more.
One more. Mm-hmm.
For my life. And I also wish that my charity work, my organization charity, the Vietnam Children's Fund, that I work together with my co-founder and co-chair, journalist Harry Anderson, Louis Poller. Our goal is build schools for the poor children of Vietnam. We have that organization for 26 years now. Our goal is build schools for the children. We build, until now, we have built 52 schools around the country at the area where have been damaged the most during the wartime. I wish that our organization would able to build more schools. And then I also wish that, okay, I just lost my big house during the economic crisis in America. My dream house that I built. I built that dream house with the hope that that house would become my family museum, the museum where I collect the sound of Vietnam, the books of Vietnam, the music of Vietnam, the movies of Vietnam, the culture, everything.
Yes.
I hope that house would become my own museum. The museum, I will keep it for my children, from my grandchildren. They would know where they came from. They would know about their root.
Yes.
But I lost that house during the economic crisis of America. Excuse me, I'm not crying about that.
Hmm.
During that period of time, millions of people lost their job,
Yes. Yes.
lost their house. So I'm just one of them.
Right.
I'm not crying for that. In my life, I have lost so many bigger things than that.
Hmm.
So in my list to His Holiness, I was dreaming to make one more movie. I would make a documentary about my life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The documentary is not about le moi, me, le moi est haïssable. The self is the self is contemptible.
Right.
In French, le moi est haïssable. But the idea of the documentary that I dream of is about I am the witness of the history of my period of time.
Mm-hmm.
About the country, about the war, about the people, about the motion picture industry that I was lucky enough to enter from the very beginning of each industry
Mm-hmm.
in 57. And then I have so many wishes for my children, for my grandchildren, for my books,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can finish my memoir.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. I make a long list to His Holiness.
Yes.
I said that no, not like that. Everything about me. I want this, I want that.
Right.
So I tear apart my long list. I rewrite my list. I still remember exactly what I wrote him. I said, His Holiness, my name is Kieu Chinh. I am an exile artist, now living in America. Sir, His Holiness, we know that the biggest river in Southeast Asia is the Mekong River. The Mekong River started from Tibet, your land,
Mm-hmm.
ended in Vietnam, my country. Please bless all the people living around that river. Have a peaceful life. Have happiness. As we are here now. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. That's all I ask for.
That's
I
nice.
anything for myself.
Mm-hmm.
My long list of wishes I tear off already. Le moi is nothing. I didn't ask for me. And you know what? I was surprised. At that night, my phone, I see somebody text me. His Holiness want to see you. I said, what?
Oh my God. Okay.
I thought that somebody joke or just joke on me or trying to do something. I did not answer that text. I go to bed. It was around 10 p.m. I go to bed. And then 10 minutes later, the text on again. Read the text, yes or no. I said, oh my God, must be something real.
Yes.
So I call back, and I call back to the person is His Holiness, I don't know, secretary or something, assistant. They said, yes, His Holiness read your request, and he want to see you.
Oh wow. Wow.
So, yeah, he want to see you. It had to be 6:30 in the morning at his office, all the way up there.
All the way up there. Wow. Okay.
All night I couldn't sleep. I was so, oh my God.
It's amazing.
Yes. So the next morning, I walk up Adam Salah from I stay at I forgot the name of the house, and I walk back. I forgot the name of that beautiful house. that donated by actor Richard Gere.
Yes.
Donated, I forgot now the house, and that house become like a small hotel guest house for them. So I have to walk down the mountain and then walk up to the mountain to see His Holiness 6:30 in the morning in his private little garden, beautiful, like somewhere up in the heaven.
Yes.
I wait there in the garden. Well, all the security are very tight, very tight.
I can imagine.
So I go up there and I sit there. I wait until I see the door open, and I see the slide of the color of his robe, the color, the red brick color of his robe out. And then I saw him, and I just kneel down like that. I didn't go on the floor. I just my head down and my hand. Then I feel a hand on my head.
Yes.
His hand, blessing on my head.
Oh wow. Okay.
He put on my head, which when they tap on your head means blessing. And I look up with a serious look. I look up to him, look into his eyes, and his camera, his photographer coming out, take a picture of him holding my hand. But I look at him, but serious look. So, and one picture take, and he hold me closer. He said, "Smile, smile." He asked me. So I have another picture. Smile. So I have two pictures with him. One not smile, very serious, very Then and the second picture, I smile, he smile. So, and since that day on, I realized that life is too short. We have only one life to live. Live the best as you can. Do the best as you can. Not only for yourself, but for the people around you that you care. And if you are able, go further than only the people near to you. Go further, out there, to the world. To me, I believe that the world, we are all under same roof.
Yes.
We are all, somebody up there create us.
Yes.
Human being. Even we are different color. But we are people. Human being.
That's right.
And we are all under the same roof.
That's right.
So I believe in live with love and care. And I feel easier for myself. Therefore, I go back to the question that I am in the middle. My next project, to answer your question,
Yes.
is I try to finish my memoir.
Okay.
About what I have gone through, what I think, and about a documentary.
I think it's gonna be amazing.
About that. It's not about when it's coming out, great. The memoir or the documentary is not only about me, but about what I have gone through, I want to share, and the people.
Yes.
And I thank you.
Thank you. I can't wait to see your memoir. I can't wait to see the documentary. It's I think anybody who watches it is going to get so much out of it.